My Love of Life Energy is a podcast created by Anna Scott. Anna knows that every human being sees life uniquely. In this podcast, she will talk to people and learn from them. These conversations are to shine the brilliance of each human being she speaks to. Join her. After each exploration, you will expand on your insights and see truth and beauty.
Good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to my podcast, My Love of Life Energy. And today, I have a dream come true. 5 years ago, maybe got even longer than that, maybe 7 or 8 years ago, I watched a video with Dicken Bettinger in it, and it was about Joey. And I fell in love with this man on the screen. And today, I'm interviewing him, and I've gotten to know him. And so it is with my greatest honor, I welcome Dicken Bettinger to my podcast. Welcome, Dicken.
Oh, thanks, Anna. It's a delight to be here.
Yeah, I'm actually pinching myself. You know, I don't know if you've ever had, like when you were a kid, you had an idol or something, and then you got to meet them.
Oh, stop it.
Oh yeah, stop it. Keep going. Stop it. No, but like that's what it feels like. It's like I met one of my heroes.
Oh,
and
that's very kind.
Well, that's the subject. One of the things that I fell in love with you was your kindness, and that's what I wanted to explore with you today. Because I could feel the kindness in how you viewed this human being you're working with. Yeah. And like kindness just poured out of you.
Well, I'm very grateful for things I've learned that make me realize that kindness is our essential nature. And so I love learning about and sharing what will help any of us become kinder, gentler, stronger, more creative, more loving. Yeah, no, that coming to understand that that's our true nature and built into all of us. So I see, like when I work with clients, I've been a psychologist for 40 years or something, and it's when I work with clients and watch as their understanding deepens, they become kinder.
Oh, wow. Can you say more about that? That's profound.
Well, innocently, people get caught up in their thinking, and you can see very clearly if you're with someone, say you're out to dinner with someone, and they're thinking about something, they're not present. And if people stay thinking about things all day long, they become very sort of self-centered. They're not present to you. And when any of us are thinking all the time, we lose feelings of peace, joy, and love. We become serious or stressed or upset. And then we don't see how natural kindness is. And so if people learn things that help them to have less on their mind, they become more fully present. And anybody that I've ever met, as they become more and more fully present, they begin to experience natural feelings like peace of mind, enjoyment, caring, loving, and they become, in their behaviors, kinder, more compassionate.
Kindness is, like as we're talking, I can feel it coming from you. How is that?
It is a feeling that as our mind quiets down, our feeling softens. I used to worry all the time, and I thought it was the problems I had in my life that created my worry. And when so I would do a lot of thinking that made me feel anxious. And when we feel anxious, we don't exude warmth and kindness.
Funny how that is.
Funny how that is. When we have a lot of thoughts that make us annoyed, bothered, upset, we don't exude warmth and kindness. And so I was just very, very, very grateful that I met this man, Sidney Banks, who was a welder with a 9th grade education, who had an epiphany, some would say enlightenment experience. And his anxiety diminished to almost nothing, and his presence, he was so fully present, and he just exuded warmth and kindness and love. And he didn't think it was anything extraordinary. He thought, well, that's the human essence. That is who we are underneath all of the thinking we're doing all day long. So if we learn things that help us to disengage from the thinking that creates tension, stress, and upset, so that we have less of that thinking, we'll be present more of the time. And any human being who is present begins to feel better and get more hopeful, more positive thinking. And it's built into people to be that way. So when people have less on their mind, they become kinder.
It feels like those. It feels like sand, like that turns, like those toys that we had sand turn. Like the thinking goes down and the other sand color comes in stronger.
Oh yeah.
That's what it feels like you're talking about.
When there's less insecure, judgmental thinking, it's like the clouds, the dark clouds part when we become more present. And then there's blue sky, and then the sun is always there waiting to shine through. And it's a remarkable discovery that since we're part of nature, we work the same way.
What you just said something, and I hadn't heard before, is that naturally more positive thoughts come in when we fall out of our that's like we don't have to work at it.
Watch little kids. Like I have my little grandkids. They were just here with me for a week, and they're 2 and 5.
Wow.
And unbelievable how much of the time they spend present. And how when little kids are present and not caught up in their thinking, they naturally are fun-loving, exploring, curious, kind. We'd go down to the beach, and because they're so fully present, they were just, everything was a playground. Every stick, every log, every piece of seaweed, I'd watch my little granddaughter go down to the sand, put her hands down flat, and then curl them up and grab a handful, leaving these cute little handprints on the sand. And then she'd go running over to the ocean and with both hands throw the sand into the ocean and watch it splash and run back and do it again and again and again and again. Now, for example, with my teacher, he would say, that's our natural state of mind. That's our natural state of mind when we're fully present. And when people are fully present, the deeper feelings of well-being emerge and arise naturally. Enjoyment, pleasure, humor, kindness. arises naturally. And anybody, I work with people who have spent their life in prison for violent crimes. And when they start understanding more fully the nature of thought, and they begin to fall out of thinking that creates all their upset and anger, and realize that's all anger is thought in the moment. It's not people making you angry, it's thoughts creating the feeling of anger. And as they would fall out of their thinking, they'd become like little kids again, warm, kind, curious, open, unbelievable. It's never damaged. It's never damaged. The clouds part, the sun's always there.
Oh my God, Dicken. I think I feel is you're talking about the eternal part of us.
Yeah. Some people call it our spiritual nature. You know, all the physicists today say the physical world only makes up about 4% of the universe, and that the rest is formless creative energy, the quantum field. And in human beings, we have our physical bodies and we have our thinking that takes form, but we have this capacity to generate and create new thinking and feeling. So we talk about capacity, or we talk about potential, and it's built into us to feel good. When any human being falls out of thinking that's creating their upset, and they become more fully present, for no reason they start feeling better. Now, I didn't understand that. I was 42 years old before I started to learn this, and had been a psychologist for 10 years, and I did a lot of thinking. The more education I got, the more thinking I got. So the more thinking I did, the less present I was. So my kids would call me Space Cadet because I was so preoccupied. I was the absent-minded professor because I was always thinking about things. And I began to learn about the nature of the mind more deeply and see that when I'm caught up in my thinking, I can experience tension, stress, and upset. And those feelings just let me know I'm caught up in my personal thinking, period. It's like an alarm clock going off to wake me back up to the present moment. And that when I would let go of everything I was thinking and was present for no reason, I'd start feeling better.
Wow.
And that you can see that happen for people. We can be sitting around worrying about something, and that thinking makes us feel so anxious, and we're just really feeling horrible, and our best friend comes to the door, and we let go of that thinking and become present, and before you know it, we're just flooded with good feelings. The clouds part, and the sky is blue, and then the sun shines through. And we all work that way.
It's so interesting. I can hear you say these words, and I've been around the principles, and that's what we're talking about. But what I'm feeling the difference in you and why I've always been attracted to you is the feeling that you speak from. Like it's like a warm bath or a warm blanket. Like there's a kindness.
I have less on my mind than I used to. And it was for a long time. The older I got and the more education I had, the more thinking I had on my mind. And learning these principles that we talk about has helped me to be present more of the time. And any human being who is present will become warmer and kinder.
Can I ask you, because we use that word a lot, but I want to hear what you mean by present, because I think that's an interesting distinction.
Every human being I know, no matter how troubled, has to be present some of the time during the day. And for example, if you were caught up in your thinking trying to walk across a room, you'd be bumping into things.
Oh, wow.
The other day I was in the woods on a trail and I took a picture and I'm walking along playing with the picture and I walk right off the trail. And it happened 3 times. I hate to say it, that people, for example, if you're driving your car and you're caught up in your thought, there's a good chance you'll have an accident. I've talked to state police who said that's the number one cause of accidents. People are distracted. They're not present. Right? So being present is ordinary. It's our natural state. The instant we let go of actively thinking about something, we still have mental activity. We don't stop thinking. We don't stop, but it's a different kind of thinking. It's not conceptual. It's not personal. It's just we continue to have thinking that allows us to respond. So anybody who's done sports knows about this. When we're in the zone, we're fully present. And without thinking, we have all kinds of knowing. All kinds. So this is why so many people now are talking about mindfulness or being the present, living in the present moment. Well, I tried doing that, which gave me a lot more thinking, a lot of stuff to work. I'm going to work on being present and use all these techniques and try, and it was hard. And then I learned about the principle of thought, and that we experience whatever we're thinking. And if we let go of everything we're thinking without doing anything, we start to feel better. It's a different kind of thinking. It's not conceptual thinking.
Yeah, it feels like what I just felt is like holding a rock really tight in my hand versus just an open hand.
That metaphor has been used by wisdom teachers for centuries. Closed-minded, open-minded. Any human being, if they let go of everything they're thinking, they don't become zombies and they don't feel worse. They always, as we become more and more present, we're more awake, more alert. We feel better.
What's interesting is that I just heard Dicken, at the next level is that we have thinking that's natural. Like it just flows through us, like flows through us.
Yes.
But then what you're pointing to is that when we start taking on our own thinking, personal, and it becomes, it's like meditation was the idea that you don't think. No, we're going to think, but it's natural. It's a different feeling. Yeah.
We can have 1,000 thoughts flowing through us while we're present, and we can be really present with a person. We can be present playing a sport or working on a problem. It's built into us to be that way. There's a deeper intelligence than just the brain intelligence. It's been called wisdom for centuries. When we drive a car, we get present and we're making life and death decisions constantly without having to think about them. That's wisdom. It's a deeper order of intelligence that allows us to live gracefully in life.
It seems to me it's like the like in birds, the honing device that has birds migrate 3,000 miles, that intelligence.
Yeah.
Whatever that is, or the whales that go from Alaska to Mexico.
It's ironic then that when we have problems, without understanding about wisdom, our only device is our computer thinking. So we just start thinking more and more about our problems. It's not wrong or bad, but it will only give you already known information. And the answer doesn't lie there. And that when we, at some point, let go of all of that thinking, then we begin to have new and fresh thinking and insights. And that's what we're all looking for. I've done these trainings in large corporations in all over the United States. And people do their best thinking when they're fully present because they have access to creative thought, new and fresh thinking. It's an essential part of problem solving. They'll say, think about it conceptually, and then brainstorm, which means let go of everything you're thinking so that you can get new and fresh thinking.
Well, it's interesting that what it just occurred to me why shower moments are so strong for insights.
Yeah.
Is because people are usually present when they take a shower. And I just thought it because you feel the water on your body.
Yes. Water that's a little cooler or a little warmer than we are helps us become more fully present.
Yeah.
And we relax, our minds open up. And that's why so many people have insights in the shower or driving a car when they have to be present.
Or they're riding their bikes.
Yes.
And I just all of a sudden I thought it's not what I just saw is there's enough stimulus that you have to pay attention. You have to become present. And I had never seen that till right now.
Yeah. And with understanding, we see the value and benefit of, if I have a problem, I can think about it. But if I want to get new and fresh thinking, I have to let go of everything I know, everything I'm thinking. My mind opens up, and we're built to have new and fresh thinking.
Oh, it's so cool too. It's the coolest thing to watch it happen.
It's unbelievable. Yeah, it's built into everybody.
Well, it's so ordinary. Like you talk about how ordinary it is. You've said that word to me.
Yeah.
But it's still so cool to watch people, no matter what human being, can get new thinking, a new idea.
Yes.
And you can hear the wisdom.
I have clients who are caught up in old negative thought. And so they think that indicates and is an accurate representation of life and how things are and what's going on in their life. And they go, it's impossible. I hate this. I don't like this. This is horrible. There's no answers here. And when they become more present through understanding, have less of that thinking on their mind, that thinking falls away. The clouds part. There's blue sky of being more fully present. And when people are more present, they start feeling better for no reason. And when people feel better, they start getting new and fresh thinking. That's the essence of creativity. Well, creativity is our nature. It's at our core. So someone who is saying, this is horrible, there's no answers, when you are present with them and warm and kind, and as they become more present, pretty soon they start feeling better for no reason. And when people feel better, they become more hopeful. And when people feel better and become more hopeful, they become more creative. They start getting, well, maybe I could do this. I hadn't thought of this. Or maybe I could do that. Or this makes sense. And I've witnessed that for 30 years. I've witnessed people as they begin to fall out of old thinking, they start getting new thinking. and is built into us, no exceptions.
So you have I didn't realize this until right now, and I've known you 4 or 5 years now, maybe 4 years. You have a pony trick that I didn't realize.
Tell me.
I finally see it. What you do is you just get present.
That's it.
And then I watch. I know, sorry, I'm like, oh shoot. The jig is up, but what I watch is, because I can feel your energy, is the minute I get around you, I can feel the presence in you, and it's the invitation for me to become present.
Exactly.
And then I start to feel great. And then I have a new thought or an insight.
Yes, that's it.
But I'm kind of embarrassed to say that I really see this. The power is just to be present. Like, not just, but the power is in the presence.
Well, it wasn't until I understood the nature of thought that I started being more present, because when I would try and be more present or use techniques, it didn't help me. I just had more to think about then.
No, I get it, because I can feel your energy. It's the invitation for people to remind them of their own nature, their own kindness.
Oh, to me, that's the essence of a helping or healthy relationship.
Yeah. It's not the tips. It's not what you say or the magic of words, but it's just you feeling your own love and kindness. And that becomes your own nature. And then people go, I don't know what's happening to me, but all of a sudden I'm starting to feel different.
Yeah.
But because you understand it, you know where to point people.
It's interesting, isn't it? Just human nature. If we're around people who are caught up in a lot of thinking and are very judgmental and critical, that pretty soon we start going in that direction.
Yeah.
And that if we're around people who are really present and therefore not caught up in critical and judgmental thinking, and they are bringing a warmth and a kindness, before long you start moving in that direction. And then you go, wow, it's really nice to be around you.
Yeah, and you think it's them.
It's the other person.
I keep thinking it's you, Dicken.
Yeah, that's why I'm reminding you, Anna.
The jig is up. I finally figured it out.
Yeah.
It's so funny. And we're coming close to an end, but last night a client said what he loved about me was my presence.
Oh,
that
that's
I'm just
a very high compliment.
Yeah. But I'm like, huh? But now I get it.
Yeah, good. Good.
I get it. I can't thank you enough. It's an honor, and here's to my nature and your nature and every human being's nature. And may more people wake up to it.
Yeah. I'm glad on a deeper level we share the same universal nature.
Oh my God. I'm getting teary because I just see, all this time I've been thinking it was you.
Oh my God. I'm glad we got that straight.
I know it took this podcast for me to figure it out.
Oh, Anna, you crack me up.
I know. All right, Dicken. Thank you so much. Oh, and if people want to so Dicken Bettinger, how do they find you? How do they connect with you? Because if you're lucky, you get to sit in more presence with Dicken.
One way, I have a YouTube channel.
Wow, Dicken.
A channel, and a friend of mine put it together for me, and it's got I've been giving talks and been recorded giving talks all over the world, so it's you can check out those videos where I am teaching or sharing this understanding. So that's one resource. YouTube, you just type in Dicken Bettinger channel.
I will put the link up on the bio, Dicken.
Okay.
so people can have access to it.
Okay. And
Okay.
my website is the number 3 principlesmentoring.com.
Okay. I will make sure that's up there too. Okay.
Thank you.
Because whoever gets to be in their presence gets to feel their own, and then it's just like a miracle. All right. Here's to more
Delightful.
kindness in the world. Lots of
Here's
love.
more kindness. Bye-bye.